What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Game Week 34 podcast. No, Game Week 34. What am I talking? Game Week 27 podcast. My name is Ryan from the Football Chatbox, and I'm joined with my co-host Karan. How are you doing?
What's up, everyone?
I was talking Game Week 34 because we were talking about free hits as well before
Pretty
this.
good, yeah.
So because of that, that's why Game Week 34 was on. But at the moment, while we're speaking, Karan is running a simulation for a couple of different scenarios with regards to chip strategies on FPL reviews. So we'll get that to you once it's done, and we'll add it on the slides later as well while we're talking about.
Towards the end of the stream, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, towards the end of the stream. And if you have any questions as well, put it in the chat and we'll answer them towards the end as well near that. Having said all of that, let's get straight into game week 26 scores, because this will give us an idea of where we're talking from in terms of how we're approaching our chip strategies. So I had 56 with Ariola Branthwaite coming in clutch. Unfortunately, lost his clean sheet. Gabriel Region -1.
Pretty good week, all things considered.
Yeah,
right?
true. It was like a tiny green, but all things considered, pretty decent week. Garnacho, De Bruyne, Saka, Foden, Odegaard, Haaland, Watkins. On the bench, Dubravka, Darwin, Pedro Porro, and Doughty.
I feel like Branthwaite saved your week.
Yeah, he most definitely did. But then I've had times when I've had him, I've benched him, and I also had bench points on the bench. So
yeah,
to be honest, I'm happy with the Branthwaite points. He definitely saved my week, especially after KDB no-show.
And you went for Odegaard instead of Hwang, like most people. And I think it was unlucky that didn't return.
Yeah, true, because they scored so many goals,
so I think it was a good pick. Yeah.
So I was hoping that Chelsea would have lost today against Leeds, which was almost there, but they scored the 90th minute winner. Yeah. So the bet kind of didn't pay off, but I still Sheffield United up next. Good fixtures. We've spoken before where Sheffield United are way more attacking at home compared to away, which is what we kind of like saw from the Wolves game as well. And that kind of we're hoping that translates towards Arsenal doing really well as well in terms of the performance. A few people in the chat. FPL Mez, FPL Mira, she's having a stream as well today, shortly after this as well. So make sure to go check her as well, her channel, and leave a like. And also Akib, welcome. And Quinton, FPL Amateurs of Oz, whose podcast is already on Spotify. So make sure to go check him out as well. And we'll answer questions slightly towards the end. So put them in the chat as well. Now, my team, at this moment, I've got 4 players. I basically have my backline for Game Week 29. I'll have Region, Doughty, and ideally Pedro Porro with Ariola and goal. And then Watkins up front. Now, having a backline in 29, I feel like is the least thing to focus on. My issue is I don't have attackers in 29, except for Watkins at the moment. So at the moment, 5 players, but only 1 attacker out of those 5 players. Now I'll go over to you, and you got 49 this week, but you have the Dubravka unfortunately fell ill, so no goalkeeper there. But yeah, Alex.
That's okay. He only gets zeros. Anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, Alex Murray, but he
makes no difference.
He saves penalties in cups though. That's a different story. Alex Moreno, Gabriel, and Pau Torres. Garnacho, Foden, Hwang Hee-chan, who is now injured and out. Saka, Watkins, Tony, Haaland. Kelleher on the bench, Walker, Robertson, Richarlison. Now you, for Game Week 29, you have Richarlison, Watkins, Tony. 3 attackers there, and then you got Alex Moreno and Pau Torres. You also have 5, same as me, but you have 3 attackers compared to my 1 attacker.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, both of us sort of going for a free hit, I guess. Better towards a free hit. But yeah, we can talk about chip strategy in a bit. Let's go through all the fixtures. Yeah, okay. Because otherwise that'll be the whole thing.
Yes, that's right. Because we have to decide. We'll be talking about chip strategy, but we'll get to that as well. But now, this is something we're going to try and do as a new segment going forward. Ideally, I was thinking to maybe even take it a bit more a step further than what you suggested, but this is from Karan and his suggestion. So on the left, we have the last week's predicted results, or predicted goals and predicted clean sheet percentage from Rob TFPL. And on the right, the picture you see in gray is from Understat. and it's basically the scores as well as the XG values from those games as well. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and see whether the actual results kind of matched what was predicted. That way,
I think what I envisioned with this is that, you know, we spend quite a lot of time talking about how we think a particular game and a matchup is going to go. And when it doesn't go like that, particularly XG wise, like I think it's good to revisit your assumptions and be like, oh, okay, why was this team actually so much more attacking than we thought? And you know, like, and I think that sort of questions your thought process and hopefully makes you better at this game. Like that's what I was thinking with this. It's more a way to check our own decisions.
So, fair enough.
So do you want to start with the Villa game?
Yes, we'll. I just want to add one more thing. I don't know if it's possible, but I want to like keep track to see if, like, you know, if they continuously overachieve or underachieve their predicted models. So then that way we can kind of like tell, oh, this team has like a history of underachieving or overachieving their models as well. But we'll see. I'll see if I can find a way to track that. But
I think the key thing is that these models have assumptions, right?
Yes.
Assumptions about minutes, assumptions about systems remaining the same, players the managers pick. So, you know, sometimes those assumptions change, and I think that's your chance to try and go against the crowd and find like a big differential.
Indeed.
So yeah.
Let's start with the Villa game. 2.2 predicted goals versus Forest's 1. So clean sheet was definitely not on the cards, and it ended up with 4-2 as a scoreline, with Villa getting 3.49 XG, and Forest, I think, was the high one, 2.26 XG.
So Villa are both more attacking than the market thought, and worse at defending than the market thought.
Yes.
Right. Okay, my guess, and I saw the extended highlights of this game, and I've been watching on and off at Villa games this season, is that without Konsa at right back and with two attacking fullbacks, they both push up into the box, and they're really only defending with like 3 people on the break, and they're very reliant on like Pau Torres or some of their better centre backs doing something. So because 2.2 XG to concede against Forest at home is quite a lot, considering this team were shutting down a lot of teams. Like they were playing a very high line, but not conceding much XG when Konsa was playing.
Now, would that have to do also with Pau Torres going off at halftime?
I'm sure.
Yeah. That could also like kind of impact their.
I mean, I think Matty Cash is really bad, and I think they're a lot better when Konsa plays.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, fair enough. I agree.
He's back in training.
Yes, he is back in training. Pau Torres as well. So we'll kind of have to monitor and see both of them, to be honest, to see whether going forward, because that 29 fixture against West Ham as well, most likely goals from both sides. But one thing we can be certain for, at least from the predicted, is that Villa will score goals, and they went higher than what they were expected to do, which is good in one way from an attacker's point of view.
So low-key, Watkins was probably one of the best captaincy picks, and I don't think we spent any time talking about him, right?
No, because we had Haaland and Saka.
We were focused on Haaland and Saka.
Yeah.
So this is what I mean. Like we look at what actually happened, and then we're like, why didn't we even think about it when we should have actually thought about it, right?
Fair enough. True.
We should have at least given 20% of consideration to it.
Yeah, which we might this week. So we'll get to it when we go. Although we still might not. But we'll talk about it later. Next up, Brighton Everton. 1.85 predicted versus Everton's 1.2. Whereas Brighton had an XG, a scoreline ended 1-1. So we kind of got 1 goal each. Whereas Brighton had an XG of 1.65, which is kind of close to their predicted goals as well. Everton, on the other hand, 0.29 XG. Nowhere near close to their expected goals, but then this is trademark Everton, I would say.
Wait, no. Trademark Everton is underperforming all their XG this season, right?
Well, yeah, true. But then this is...
No, I have owned Everton assets for like way too many game weeks. So.
I've had Brantford, and my idea of Everton is that Everton are very... Like, they'll try and keep it to low scoring as much as possible. They will try and go forward if they can, but right now they're struggling to create forward. Like Calvert-Lewin is feeding off scraps. My idea of Everton.
Yeah, I think my idea of Everton is that they attack quite a bit.
Yeah.
But like they don't really have the attacking quality to create super clear-cut chances. So every time I watch, Calvert-Lewin gets like a handful of difficult chances. So and they're like a pretty decent defensive team. That's what it seems like.
Fair enough. So in terms of markets, at least, like predictions going forward, do we still believe Everton defense?
I mean, it's kind of tough to consider them, right? Considering no game week 29.
Yeah, fair enough.
They might have a double in 34, so I'm sure we'll revisit in like 30 or something. Yeah.
All right. Let's move to Palace Burnley. Palace.
Also, we should probably talk about Pascal Gross. He's
yes.
absolutely killing it.
1 assist and he gets max bonus.
I saw a tweet the other day, which I thought was a good tweet. If Pascal Gross was 6 years younger, Pep would have signed him by now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was probably true.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, he does so much.
Yeah. He's so good on the ball. Yeah.
That's why he gets 3 bonus every time, because that 1 assist is enough, because he just does so much around the game. So that's why. Yeah. Unfortunately, Brighton's fixtures are ending soon. Their good fixtures are ending soon. So I wish I could have revisited this earlier and like gone and got Pascal Gross when he had that good fixtures, but now too late.
Yeah, but this is the thing you talked about last week, where we're playing too much fixture chess.
Yes.
So we avoided the good picks. Yeah.
That's right. Fair enough. All right, Palace versus Burnley. New Palace manager, supposed to be very high pressing and whatnot. They won 3-0 against Burnley. The only thing I can say about Burnley is they're absolute garbage at this point. 0.08 actually from Burnley, that actual one. Palace 2.42, so delivered higher than what they were expected to.
That's pretty good, actually. Though. That's pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good, because no Eze and Olise, right? That's what's most impressive about that. Even though it's Burnley.
The fact that they're playing Spurs next, Palace, could be a very interesting game, that one.
I mean, yeah.
We'll get to the predict tomorrow, see what they say. But yeah, next, United versus Fulham. I guess United underperforming their expectations, as usual.
I mean, you know what? The model wasn't that far off.
No, 2.2 versus 1.96 that delivered. Fulham so actually pretty accurate, 1.05 to 1.14, almost same.
Yeah.
But I think you expect United to do better, but I would say that Fulham probably could have had more.
Every United game you watch, it's like they somehow find a way to let every player on the other team take a shot.
Yeah.
And maybe the shots aren't the most dangerous shots, but the amount of shot volume that we concede is just, it boggles the mind.
Yeah.
Like even against Forest this morning, we conceded like 10 shots or something.
Forest were like the better team in the second half for most of it. Yeah, that's the thing.
It's unbelievable. Yeah.
Akib has mentioned, right? Against United, Haaland and City will unlock God mode.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. So Bournemouth versus City, actually. City were predicted to have 2.40 and Bournemouth won. Bournemouth kind of got the same, like they got 0.93, which was almost close to what the market expected. And so City did keep their clean sheet.
See, I wonder if the market expected KDB to play.
It did, which is why it probably had 2.4 instead
did
of
Rob
City's
say
1.8.
that?
No,
did Rob
I don't think so. But
probably, right? Probably
but I'm assuming it did make that assumption. It's a fair assumption to make, right? Because
I think so.
You kind of have
at least play a part.
Yes, exactly. Not come on and get a yellow card and do nothing. But I think if you look into this week's predictions, he'll definitely have KDB influence.
So the market thinks that having KDB,
more goals.
No, but specifically around 30% better, right?
Yeah. Which I guess kind of proves like after the Luton game. Yeah. Unfortunately, I guess this is the difference. When there's no KDB, it does affect Haaland as well from a captaincy ownership, especially when he's playing good teams.
I watched this whole game.
Yeah.
Because I had Haaland captain.
Yeah.
And this was a very good Bournemouth performance.
Yes.
Like really, really good. Like Haaland would have.
He had chances though, Haaland.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Because I was watching the game, that Foden chance. I think. There were a few other chances that.
No, I would say the chances he had, they weren't the most difficult chances, but they weren't like
They weren't easy as well, but
they weren't easy. Yeah.
Given his quality, you expect him to kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I think, but he would be overperforming his XG, which he does, which he did last year. Yeah.
So I guess that's the only downside. But again, we'll get to.
Did you see that one that he took with his right foot at the start of the
start of the game, right? First half or second half?
In the first half, yeah, halfway through the first half or something. He like ran past and then shot really early with his right foot.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was a very unusual shot. It surprised Neto. He tried to curl it in and he ended up shanking it.
Yeah.
But like that kind of shot, I feel like last season that goes in.
Yes, that's the thing. The form he was on last season would have most likely gone in.
Yeah.
Now Arsenal versus Newcastle. Arsenal definitely met their expectations. Newcastle, on the other hand, probably nowhere close to meeting their expectations. Arsenal got 2.59. Predicted was 2.5.
Maybe Arsenal are becoming an even better defense than the weight of predictive data suggests, right? Because these models are like going to look at the last n number of games. It's going to weight the most recent ones more heavily.
Yeah.
But
I'll quickly jump to their team defense last 6 game weeks.
Yeah, sure.
Arsenal are like on Krypton or some other atmosphere.
I like what? Oh yeah, Krypton.
Look at that. Minutes per XG considered 310.
That's insane. This is.
This
has got to be one of the. This has got to be one of the best defensive sides ever, right?
I don't remember seeing these kind of numbers before.
Yeah, this is honestly one of the best defensive sides. Yeah. I think either ever or like in recent memory or something.
At least in recent memory, definitely. It's absurd.
Maybe City like a couple of years ago. Those.
Yeah, but not to this level. This is just absurd levels of.
Yeah, City always conceded one stupid goal.
Yes. Yeah. This Arsenal team, you can't you don't see it happening. So still a pretty good defense for.
I mean, that goal Newcastle got was like it was such a lucky goal. I'd say.
So.
Like such a good cross, but it was such a like punt of a cross and then such a weird header. Like
that's the thing, right? So overall, double Arsenal defense is still really amazing as a pick.
Yeah, but they also generate a lot of XG.
I know that's the problem. But then they're absolute set piece monsters. So at this point, Gabriel could have had another goal.
Man, that was pretty unlucky, right?
Yeah. So
like he didn't even get the assist. Like how unlucky is that?
No, exactly. So you're looking at like potential.
And then the clean sheet gets wiped off like some bullshit goal.
So you're looking at so many potential points from your defenders. But yeah, Arsenal's good. Newcastle very bad. Wolves versus Sheffield United. Wolves definitely underperformed. Sheffield United, I would say, did what they were expected to do when they play away. 0.65 for Sheffield United. Wolves 1.22.
So assumptions wise, we all looked at this and thought, okay, Hwang is a clear pick.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't, but a lot of managers did.
Yeah.
But maybe Sheffield are better at defending than we thought.
Because we've had conversations before, right? Where Sheffield slightly, when they go away, a bit more safer than their home, and also that Wolves, they tend to play according to their opponents, right? If their opponents offer space.
I think one thing that I'm really getting out of doing this exercise is that, like this model doesn't weigh recent data as heavily as maybe it should. Maybe. Like you obviously can't judge that without doing a proper statistical thing, but because like Sheffield United's defense has improved in the last 3-4 games from memory. Like they were free falling before and now they've worked it back up a bit. But I wonder if the model is sort of looking at the average of the last 10 games or something.
That I'm not sure. We'll probably have to check with Rob. But one thing I guess is they're playing at home this week against Arsenal.
Yeah.
I expect goals from Arsenal. Plenty.
Yeah, and that's what we said. Like it's at home, right?
Yeah.
At home, they have to go for it, right? Like
they kind of need to win at this point.
I mean, they have to. They might as well try. It's nothing to lose.
Yeah, true. And then finally, West Ham versus Brentford. Now, West Ham was expecting a draw, I would say, this game. West Ham 1.5, Brentford 1.4. Brentford got to like this what was expected, 1.34. West Ham went 2.07. I have a feeling Paqueta might have had an effect on West Ham's output.
Yeah, I mean, but they did overperform.
Yeah.
But watching the game, they dominated the game, I would say.
Mm.
I watched most of this game. They dominated the game. Brentford's chances came towards the end when it was like 4-0.
Yeah,
so
that's the thing.
The game didn't ever look close. And Bowen's finishes were all very clinical.
Mm.
So he supremely outperformed XG. So the model didn't get it that wrong.
Yeah.
It's just everyone had a good finishing day.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like Emerson's goal was like a pretty insane goal.
I know. Like my mini league leader has Emerson.
That's insane. Yeah. What an insane pick. They're like the worst defense. It's just
goal and assist.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. I woke up and I was like, God damn it. But yeah. So I don't know. We'll see about Bowen going forward. 28 they play Burnley before the 29 fixture. So
yeah, I mean the worst team. Yeah.
Yep. So that's the previous data. Now this is what I did. I kind of color coordinated and whatnot, but we've already spoken about it. So we'll go to the next one, which is this week's fixtures. Now, Brentford versus Chelsea. Chelsea is expecting 1.8 to Brentford's 1.45. I think it might be a bit more harder than that.
What do you mean?
I think Brentford at home are slightly better, and Chelsea have now played 120 minutes plus another 90 minutes of games.
Yeah.
Wondering if that will have an effect.
Like, surely that can't all be an input to the model. So no, I tend to agree with you. Yeah. I tend to agree with you. Like, maybe the Brentford number should be 30% higher and the Chelsea number should be a bit lower.
Yeah, that's what, probably.
But Brentford's defense is pretty bad. So maybe the Chelsea number should stay the same and the Brentford number should be higher.
Maybe. Yeah. So, but
I mean, I have Tony. Yes. So it's good news for me. Okay. I don't plan on.
I have Region. I'm not sure whether I should start him or not. That's the one thing. It's either him or Brentford or Porto. One of the two.
Okay. I mean, I would rather Brentford, I think.
Yeah, fair enough. Against West Ham. Where's West Ham? We'll get to that. Yeah. That's the next one.
Okay. Why don't we just segue to that?
Okay, so Everton versus West Ham. Now, Everton, 1.6 over West Ham's 1.2. Now, I don't know how much of the recent performance this one does include, to what extent it includes. But Everton, in this, are 30% likely to keep a clean sheet. So does that mean that I should probably think about Brantwaite a bit more in terms of starting him?
I don't really think West Ham creates much chances away from home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a lot of the chances are like very direct, right? Crosses over the top. And I think Everton are actually kind of good at defending that kind of, because Everton are one of the biggest, most physical teams.
Yep.
So like, I see this one being a 1-0, 2-0 Everton.
Oh, good news. Maybe I might actually start Brantwaite. Well,
so I do think between Reguilon and Brantwaite, I would start Brantwaite.
Yeah. Okay. So Brantwaite gets a nod for the moment. I know a few people who have Bowen and they're thinking about benching Bowen as well. So I guess that goes in with what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't bench him.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because he's on pens, right?
Yeah, true.
Is he on pens?
Paqueta's on pens.
Paqueta's pens, yeah.
That's the thing. Okay. Fulham versus Brighton. Now, Brighton are predicted to win, although they are injury ravaged with Mitoma also now injured. Do we think? Yeah, I guess it probably might end up the way it's predicted.
Look, I couldn't tell you for sure. Neither of these teams have been super fantasy relevant the last few game weeks.
Except for Pascal.
So I haven't really followed them too much, except for Pascal. Yeah.
So if you have Pascal, just start him.
They haven't really been on my radar, but like I was saying, maybe they should have been.
Yeah. Newcastle versus Wolves. Newcastle 1.9 XG compared to Wolves' 1.3, which is very interesting because given that Newcastle defensively have been quite a bit of shambles. I think Wolves' numbers maybe should be higher, or I don't know.
I mean, I don't buy this. I mean, I don't think Wolves are going to generate much.
They're not going to generate
away
as much
from home.
Yeah,
but they are a good counter-attacking side.
Yeah,
and Newcastle at home will go for it. So I don't know. This should probably be 1.9, 1.6 or something.
Probably. So Wolves' number should be slightly higher. Yeah.
That's my very amateur guess.
No, I would probably agree. The only thing is Hwang Hee-chan is injured. and most likely not going to be playing this game.
One of my worst transfers this season.
Don't worry, welcome to my KDB world.
He might pay you back this game week.
We'll see.
But I think if Huang was fit, or if he ends up being fit, I don't think he will at this point. This is probably a good game for him. Counter-attacking game. I was planning on playing him.
Neto, still a good option for this week. Sarabia also would be a good pick.
Yep.
We mentioned Sarabia last week as well. Yeah. I can't believe we mentioned Ant Nouri last week and then we decided, we're not looking at defenders.
I didn't really have a way to get a defender instead.
So, well, it is what it is. But I don't think they're keeping a clean sheet in this one, though. I don't think neither.
Yeah, Newcastle looked pretty bad. Newcastle looked so bad against Arsenal, but it is Arsenal. So.
Yeah. But they were. I was speaking to a Newcastle fan yesterday for Fantasy Football Scout the Game Week, and he was pretty down on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like,
what does he think? Is it because they're tired from all the pressing?
Like, that and also like injuries have related to it. Now, obviously, Harvey Barnes and everyone is back, but
so Joelinton is the most important player in the Premier League.
Yeah, at least for them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. The team is back though. That's one thing he mentioned. Like most of the team is back, so you should see a slight improvement, especially given their fixtures are now going to improve as well on paper. But we kind of had to wait and see on. Now next up, Forest versus Liverpool. I don't know whether this is Liverpool's main 11 or Liverpool's kids at this point. I don't know which way, given recent press. Not sure where to go, but Liverpool 2.3 versus Forest is 1.15.
I mean, this makes sense to me. Liverpool are a good defense, but not an elite defense.
No.
Forest are very counter-attacking, very fast, and Liverpool commit a lot of players forward.
Yeah.
So I think this...
It should fit both styles, like both teams' advantages. Now the question is whether Salah will be fit. Darwin as well. I don't know. I haven't seen the recent press news about those two.
I mean, why do you think the kids will play? I don't.
Oh, they've been playing recently because of the injuries and whatnot. But I don't expect them to play this one. But again, depends on like Salah and whatnot.
I think the whole bunch of kids came on so that the main players are rested for this, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
I mean, I expect. I expect a Gakpo, like
Gakpo, Diaz.
I think Gakpo and Diaz will definitely start.
Yeah.
It's whether Salah and or Darwin starts.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I want to know. I want to know if Darwin is fit, given Solanke's injury as well now.
Yeah.
I mean,
even if they're not, Harvey Elliott will play on the right.
Yes.
But is Connor Bradley going to play?
Most likely, I would say. You haven't seen anything about Trent, so I would assume Connor Bradley will play.
Okay.
And then Spurs versus Palace. Now, we haven't seen Spurs. We don't know what they've done in their break as well in terms of training and how it will impact them going into this game. But given that Spurs are predicted with a 35% clean sheet percentage, I should probably look at starting Porro if he's fit over Reguilon in this game.
That's an insanely high number for him.
I know. That's what I'm a bit... I don't know. We'll see.
For me, out of all of these numbers, this is the one that I'm most surprised by.
The goals or the clean sheet?
So far.
Which one? The goals or the clean sheet? Both?
Oh, the clean sheet.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, given...
There's no way. Like, Crystal Palace looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Without Eze. Eze is probably going to be back.
Yeah.
Right? He's like training with the team and stuff now.
So we're expecting the clean sheet to go down.
Spurs attack. Yeah, they're just they're a horrible defense.
Yeah.
We looked at the stats, right? They're like what, like the second worst defense or something.
Yeah. Actually, let me bring it up.
I remember looking at this last week, right?
Spurs right now they're mid-table because they haven't had a blank. They had a blank recently, so it's only 5 games played compared to some who have played 6 and whatnot.
Oh, the blank saved them. Because they were bottom
below,
3 last week.
Yes. So there's 61.6 minutes per conceded. So they're mid-table defense right now. But still not great. But again, maybe the break helps the team. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. One thing to kind of keep an eye out for is Heung-min Son. Where is he playing? Richarlison. Is Richarlison going to start? Or is Richarlison... How many minutes will Richarlison get? Will he get 60 minutes, 70 minutes? With most of Spurs players back.
Yeah, so I think it remains to be seen what's going to happen. Richarlison, Son, Werner.
Yeah.
We can talk about that when it comes to my team because I have Richarlison as well.
Yeah. Fair enough. Aston Villa versus Luton.
Well, if we go off what happened with last week's predictions,
we expect Villa to do better.
Yeah, but is that a home thing?
Yes.
I mean, we know Luton really go for it.
Yeah.
Right? And we know Luton are more likely to really go for it at home.
Yep.
And I think Villa, they don't play a counter-attacking game, but they play a really fast attacking game. Like very quickly get it from the back to the front. So I can only see this being a high-scoring game on both sides.
Fair enough.
Like I think Luton gets in behind and Villa gets in behind. So I mean, this is like, yeah, I don't know. This could end up being like a 3xG for Villa kind of game. And I think again, Watkins is a legit captaincy option.
True.
And I just want to make sure I say that.
We mentioned it this
week. I can say next week that we said it, even though I'm not going to captain it.
Fair enough. So we do expect Villa to do better, but we also expect Luton to score. So maybe in terms of keep starting Villa defense, probably not the week.
Yeah.
Now, the next one, Bournemouth versus Burnley. Bournemouth at 1.8, Burnley at 1.25. Even the last game, I would say Burnley's goals predicted should be lower.
Bournemouth are a very good team.
Yes.
Like that's game against City. Like you don't often see teams have control against City.
Yeah.
And they didn't create that much, but in midfield they were quite competitive.
Yeah.
I would say. And they didn't just sit back either. So I think they will shred Burnley.
The one thing
is
Solanke. Like James mentions on the chat, Solanke's injury. We are not really sure what.
How serious is it?
We don't know. We'll have to wait for tomorrow's press conference news. Kind of get an idea on like.
Yeah. Do you think it could just be that he didn't want to play him in the cup?
He said he had to assess and see. So we don't know. That's what, according to what the manager mentioned, he has a knee injury. So we don't know the extent to that knee injury. He said he might be okay. So one thing to kind of keep an eye out for press conferences. Because if he's fit, then I do dive into Solanke this week. If he's not, then I have a decision to make. Apart from him, the other good Bournemouth options, I have been thinking about this, and this kind of affects chip strategy, is I've been thinking if I do free hit in 29, possibly even taking a hit for Neto this week as a goalkeeper option. Even Bournemouth fixtures.
But who's your keeper right now?
Dubravka and Areola.
I mean, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, neither are great.
Yeah.
But I don't know if either are terrible to take a hit for.
True. Fair enough. It's just that the fixtures for Bournemouth, they read Burnley, Sheffield United, Luton. Obviously, free hit, maybe free hit. Then they got Everton, Palace, Luton. I'm
potentially no. My point is, why not just bring him in 28?
Well, I was assuming that the hit, if you get the Burnley game as well, which is a chance of a clean sheet, whereas Areola going to keep a clean sheet, is Dubravka going to keep a clean sheet this week? Probably not. That's kind of what I was thinking.
I mean, they're both like not terrible options. That's the thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I just really dislike taking hits for keepers.
Yeah, because Areola could keep a clean sheet this week. I won't be surprised against him.
That's what I mean. When you have a keeper who could keep a clean sheet, taking a hit seems like, it just seems extra.
Yeah.
It seems unlikely to pay off.
Okay, fair enough.
So we're not comparing whether the hit pays off in the future. No. We're comparing taking a hit now versus a hit a week from now.
Yeah.
And the EV difference in both of them, I'm like, you might as well pay.
Yeah, fair enough. Cool. And then City versus United. 2.7 XG to United is 0.9. Probably would agree with this.
I mean, it seems about right, honestly. Honestly, on both sides, it seems about right. I don't think it's a locked-in City clean sheet, but I think United will struggle to create more than 1 XG. If they create 1 XG, I will be surprised. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, true. Especially if Højlund is still not fit.
He's not going to be fit.
Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So then most definitely, yeah.
I think I would genuinely be surprised if get 1 XG.
Ten Hag has switched Rashford back to left wing, back to striker, which is not helping Rashford's game. And Garnacho was doing something decent on the right, and now he's back on the left. So the entire front three in the front has changed.
Ten Hag, just I don't know if he's the most classic overthinker or something. Like, I swear to God, the man he clicks too many buttons. Sometimes you're like, it was going fine. Like,
yes, why change it?
Let it go for a bit.
I mean, like, you just play McTominay at striker or something. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Every day a different thing. And
like, I would like to see him play Rashford on the left this week. Play Garnacho on the right.
That's clearly his best position.
Yeah, and just
Garnacho was doing reasonably well on the
I know,
right.
that's what.
Yeah.
And just play McTominay as striker if you need a striker, right? Because it's not like you're finding your striker anyways. You don't pass to them, and this team is not used to passing to them. So why move everyone else as well to just?
I mean, I get it. I get not having a striker. Yeah. So like, I guess Rashford up front makes sense. Garnacho on the left. I'd probably put Bruno on the right or something.
Maybe, but then Rashford doesn't like playing up front. That's the problem. And then you're kind of misusing him as well.
I think against in this type of game, it might be okay because it's not like he's a in possession striker.
Yeah,
it's going to be like a United don't have the ball at all, quick counter.
Yeah,
and then Rashford runs in behind. So like in that type of game, I think he's an okay striker.
But other games where we have possession of the ball.
Yeah. You need a guy who makes intelligent runs, takes good positions, hold up play.
Which he doesn't.
Which he doesn't do. Yeah,
that's the thing.
He just doesn't have it. So I mean, okay. So let's assume the market factors in a healthy chance of KDB playing.
Yes.
And that's where this 2.7 number comes from.
Yep.
But I'm gonna assume, and I've been wrong many times about Pep. I'm gonna assume that he's guaranteed to play. Like I'm very sure KDB is gonna play.
I mean, he should after playing 90 minutes.
I think he played 90 minutes in the cup because Pep likes to. We've noticed this in the past. Like Pep doesn't just play 90 minutes rest.
Rhythm,
he gives players streaks and rhythm, and then he gives them some rest and then builds them up. And then when he gives them rest, he builds other players back in, and then he like. So I think that's what he's probably doing with KDB. So he probably had a slight niggle against Brentford.
Yep.
And then he thought, okay, now we've got Man City coming up, Champions League, Arsenal, Liverpool after that. So this is the time to get him back into the rhythm in an easy game. So my guess is KDB plays 75 minutes plus.
Well, I've got him, and I hope he starts. So.
And if KDB plays 75 minutes plus, I think we slap another 20% on this XG.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think this should be like 3.
Yeah, I don't mind. I think it's going to be a.
Just in my head, I'm going to assume it's 3.
Yeah, true. 1 second. So Haaland probably the best captaincy option this week.
Oh well, let's talk about the next game.
Yeah, okay. Sheffield United versus Arsenal. Even more high actually from Arsenal. 2.9 with a 52% chance of a clean.
Insane.
I'm not surprised by the 52% chance of a clean given their numbers, to be honest. It's a 2.9.
So last week's Arsenal's attack performed about what the model thought, right?
Yes.
The defense was just way tighter.
Yes.
So this week, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think Sheffield are going to try and attack a lot at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this 0.65 is probably reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's no way Arsenal doesn't smash them, right? There's no way. Like, it's going to be like 5-0. Like,
yeah. Ideally, I'm hoping Odegaard does the business because a lot of managers have double Arsenal defense. And if Odegaard doesn't do anything, it's going to be deadly.
Yeah. So Gabriel, obviously, amazing pick.
Yes.
Saliba is so expensive, and he gets on the end of set pieces a lot, but
just for 6 points mainly.
Yeah, it seems like a 6-point pick most of the time, really.
Yep. That's why.
So, I don't know. I wouldn't mind a cheeky Havertz or an Odegaard pick.
Mm.
What is Havertz gonna play? Is anyone in the chat an Arsenal fan? I would love it.
Oh, we need to ask Roy on chat later.
Oh yeah, if there's someone in the chat that's an Arsenal fan, that would be much
appreciated. That's what. If anyone is an Arsenal, I don't know if anyone is an Arsenal fan in the chat, but we'll ask Roy probably later. Yep. But yeah, I mean, Arsenal pretty solid.
So like we said last week, and maybe being results based, we got it slightly wrong. Arsenal, even if they score more goals, Haaland has greater goal involvement.
Yes, which tends to be the case.
That's ultimately why we captained Haaland last week.
Yeah. Right? Although Saka did have a lot of chances in the last game.
He did. Like if you look at the performed XGI, it wasn't that different between Saka and Haaland. Yeah, I wouldn't. Saka didn't have any sitters.
No.
He had one, like he dribbled a couple of people and took a shot.
So he didn't get Haaland might have some sitters KDB will set up for him on a plate.
I think this is the Foden game. This is the Foden. I think United.
Yeah. The week before, sorry.
I said this. Was it last week?
Last week? No, last week. Yes, this was last week that you said that Foden was going to be one of the top scorers, and you wanted to captain him.
I said in our chat, Foden's going to be a top scorer, but I don't have the balls.
And then Roy told you to go find some nuts. But yeah, I mean, this could be a Foden game as well. I have all three, so I'm kind of happy to own all three. But
I mean, I think this could be even more of a Foden game, to be honest. I think United's defense. So I saw on Match of the Day the other day, Gary Neville was explaining it, and I thought it made sense. He said that the problem with Ten Hag's system is that they try to press with the front attackers and some of the midfielders, but then they also play a low block at the same time.
Yeah, so there's like huge gap.
Which is why teams like Fulham dominate the midfield against us. So imagine if Fulham can dominate what City is going to do.
Yes.
They're going to have so much space on the ball.
So I think Carragher did a piece on this on Monday Night Football where he showed...
Or maybe it was Carragher.
Yeah, he showed the entire space that Fulham were dominating, and then Ten Hag hit out at Carragher because of it. But
did he?
He did apparently.
He's gone, man.
But gone. So they had so much space, and that's where I think Foden, KDB...
That's the Phil Foden space. You watch that hat-trick. You see the hat-trick against Brentford? It's like all the strikers and wingers are occupied by the back line, and then all of a sudden Foden just walks into the box with the ball.
If Foden gets a hat-trick or gets double digits in this game, I'm clipping this part and
please clip it. I hope this gets 1 million views.
So alright. So still captaincy, we're thinking Haaland over Saka, just because of percentage of goals.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm 70% Haaland, 25% Saka, 5% Watkins.
Yeah, I'm 95% Haaland. I have trauma of previous times of United just getting hammered by City.
Yeah, I mean, I think whenever Haaland's expected to play a 90,
he does well. Okay, cool. Now, that's the fixtures. Chip strategy. So, what's your current chip strategy going into GameWeek 29's blank, given that there are now 4 fixtures?
Yeah. So from 24, 25 onwards, I've been pretty intent on wildcarding in 26, 27, 28.
Yep.
And I mean, I've sort of played my team like that.
Yep.
So now I'm in a position where I have a somewhat decent team for 27. It's not amazing. And I was considering a 27 wildcard into 28 bench boost. Because through FPL review, I saw that it was the highest EV.
Okay, let me bring it up. You said 27 wildcard?
Yeah, but so that I can...
boost. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the idea was that you get all these cheap Bournemouth and Luton players. You get 6 of them, and you stuff your bench with them, and it doesn't really affect your team much later because all the money is not stripped out. But the issue with that is that you definitely have to spend free hit on 29. And then now you get to 30 and you've spunked all your chips. So I've gone off that a little bit, but also instead of 27 wildcard, I'm now looking at 28 wildcard because I think this extra week of info is going to be really big. Because in this extra week, we're going to know about Solanke fitness. We're going to know about what is the Son Richarlison thing, that's situation.
But then
there's a few other
free
questions.
Hitting 29 or something?
Yeah, so if I wildcard 28, I have not yet decided whether I wildcard into a 28 team that can handle no free hit in 29.
Yeah.
Or I wildcard in 28 with the intention of free hitting in 29.
I would probably then just delay your wildcard, I think. Because I feel like you'll get more information on like what the 34 and 37 doubles will look like.
I see, the thing is, I want triple Bournemouth,
okay.
but I don't want to really take too many hits for them.
Yep.
Because I think they have very clear.
They have a good.
I have zero. I have zero.
Okay. Same.
I have zero, but I have, I can get between now and then, I can get 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Same. Yeah. We could just bring like a defender and Solanke. Yeah.
But I also have no Luton.
Well, we've seen Luton in the previous double. I don't see this double.
I don't really think this is a great.
Yeah.
I actually think the only people this could be an okay double for is like the attackers.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think Doherty is gonna get 3 points, like.
Yeah. Or even 1 point, like it did in the last double.
Yeah,
because Crystal Palace have improved, right? That's the thing.
Yeah, they got the new manager bounce. Yeah. Bournemouth at home, tough team, very tough team.
So, it's just Bournemouth that you want.
But they attack like crazy, right? So like I wouldn't like if you walk out in 28 and you're planning to, not free hit 29, then I don't mind like a Morris pick or something,
Fair enough. It's just that I'm wondering that you might be stuck with like players you don't want going out of the 29 rank.
Yeah, but if they're cheap players, I don't mind too much. So yeah.
Fair enough. I'm still for me. I think I'm looking at 31 wildcard, probably where I'm at. Yep. Just given that you have the information about the doubles in 34 and 37, we'll know the FA Cup results as well after 29. It seems very straightforward of who is going through, but we'll know who will go through. That way you can probably like wildcard 31, maybe bench boost or free hit in 34, and then use the other chip in 37. Now,
so the definite doubles, right, from this, I'm looking at the orange color.
The dark orange. Probably Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, Everton.
Yeah, so Bournemouth are going to double, right? And if I wildcard 28, I'm going to get triple Bournemouth anyway.
Yeah, so you can carry them over.
Yeah, then Palace are going to double. I mean, do I really want to pack my team with Palace players now?
Probably not.
And Everton are going to double, but one of the games is Liverpool. Yeah. And then Sheffield are going to double, which is not really double.
Yeah. But so that's why I was thinking. Now this is where I'm wondering now, free hit, I can get to a decent team, about 10 players, but I have to take a minus 12 between now and 29 to not play the free hit in 29. And I was wondering whether I play the free hit in 29 or whether I play the free hit in 34. Because in 34, along with the teams that you mentioned, the other teams most likely to double would be United, would have Newcastle and Sheffield United. And
so is that the percentage of double?
Yeah, there's a percentage chance of a double as well. So of it both happening. So like there's 70% chance of the Sheffield United and 70% chance of Newcastle game both happening. Assuming that United lose to Liverpool in the FA Cup.
Okay, so is there one fixture in 34 confirmed for United?
Most likely, yes. If they lose.
Sorry, can we go back to the other one? I'm just trying to get my head around this. So in 34, where's United? Oh, okay. Neither of the games are confirmed. I see.
Yeah. So this is what would ideally happen.
Yes. Okay. Makes sense.
Let's say United do lose to Liverpool, then the Sheffield United game from 29 has to move somewhere. It'll probably move to 34. It could also move to 37, but most likely might move to 34, is what they're assuming.
So why is the Newcastle game not locked in?
The Newcastle game should be locked in as well. But it's just that if United beat Liverpool under unlikely circumstances,
it'll be a blank.
It could be a blank, but it could also mean that because the FA Cup will happen in 34.
Yeah.
So they could move the Newcastle fixture to the midweek of 34, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And then the Sheffield United fixture moves to 37.
Right. Okay. Oh, that's why the base fixture is also up in the air.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Because
Okay, so the percentage chance of having 2 fixtures is 41%.
Yes.
Which is reasonably high.
Yeah.
Okay, so we should look at the expected fixtures, right? 1.4.
Yeah. So the chances of on 34, you apart from the teams you mentioned like Crystal Palace, like Bournemouth, then Everton and Sheffield United, we would also probably add Newcastle and Manchester United also to that list.
Okay, so so Bournemouth definite double, Palace almost definite double, Everton almost definite double.
Yeah.
Then probably so Sheffield definite double.
2, 3.
Yeah, and then United
4, 5,
maybe
6.
double.
Yeah,
and
maybe
United
6 teams doubling.
Okay, so like I said, I'm not that attracted to the original 4 teams that are doubling, but if United and Newcastle, if United double, yeah, I think it makes the free hit a bit better, but I don't like. It's not like we're talking about some crazy good United side.
No, we're not. That's the thing. But that's why I guess it's like the idea of the free hit is just that you don't want these teams in your team, like your wildcard long time. So but the one thing to add to this is what we saw in Gaming 25's double was that the single game week players smashed it out of the park. That's specific.
Yeah, but I mean that's like that's.
Yeah, but they had good.
I wouldn't look to that to see what's gonna happen.
No, yeah, but they had good fixtures. But this week, the 34, the single game week teams have a bit more harder in terms of fixtures. Like Arsenal have Chelsea.
Okay, any game is good game for Arsenal.
Okay, fair enough.
Right now.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, they're at that point.
City have Brighton. That will be an easy game, I would say, for City most likely.
That's fine. Brighton or Tottenham are both terrible defenses, so I don't mind. Who else are the fantasy picks?
Liverpool will have the Merseyside fixture against Everton.
They always crush them.
Yeah, they do. Who else is fantasy relevant? Spurs.
Probably if you go to Tony or something, Brentford have Luton away. That's pretty good. And Spurs Villa have Bournemouth at home. That's pretty decent.
Villa, we might most likely sell Villa by this time because Villa won't have another double game week after this. So I don't know. It depends on because if you go back to Villa, right?
Yeah.
Wolves, City, Brentford, Arsenal. I mean, might have to think about selling Watkins eventually.
Could you go? Yeah. So here, right? So the question for 34 for me is, what teams do you want to have in 34 that you don't want to have around 34?
Just United and Newcastle.
I think it's just United and Newcastle, and both of them are like 1.4 expected games. So they're likely to double, but not really. Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like that's why to me, a 29 double, even though it's only 4 shitty games, allows you to plan around it.
Yes.
So I'm leaning towards 29 double the more we talk about it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, the one thing with the free hit in 29 is playing it. The advantage to playing it is one, I don't have to take a 12-point hit to get to that. To avoid not playing it.
Yeah, I think that's big. Yeah, that's add 12 points to your free hit. That's big.
That's the thing. And I can also load up on Bournemouth even more than I would have wanted to.
Yep.
Because if I'm trying to avoid free hitting in 29, then I can't load up on Bournemouth as much as I would want to.
Yeah.
So that's another thing.
And that double is crazy, man.
Yeah.
Sheffield at home, Luton at home. That's crazy.
Really good fixture. Yes.
Yeah.
So I could get in. This is why I was thinking of Neto as an option because I wasn't sure on Tennessee in terms of.
Oh, Neto is nailed. Neto is Neto and Solanke, if fit, are must picks.
Yeah. So that.
And then it's just like who are you going to get as a third?
Yes, that's what I was wondering. In terms,
I don't know. Is it Senesi? Is it some Tavernier or something?
You could get Senesi. You could get. Ideally, I would have loved Semenyo, but Semenyo is a forward pick as well, so it's a bit of an off one.
Tavernier
maybe in midfield, but
Kirkus,
he gets subbed off.
I need to check if Kirkus is now.
Their wingers, Bournemouth wingers tend to get subbed off pretty early. That's the one problem with the Bournemouth wingers, like Kluivert as well. All tend to get subbed off pretty early. That's the one thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, whenever you get people in a juicy double game week, you've got to get the ones with the most minutes.
Yeah, that's what.
Because if they're not on the pitch, it doesn't matter.
For the moment, it's only Solanke and Neto. And if Senesi doesn't get that yellow card this week, then he has to become an option.
See, I'm considering Tavernier, and I can get all these interesting picks if I wildcard in 27 or 28.
Yeah.
And yeah, it sounds crazy to want to wildcard 4 Bournemouth players, but it's that good at double, I think. Yeah.
I still think I don't mind like just taking a hit to get those because I can get Solanke and Neto without taking a hit. I can take a -4 as well to get Bowen if I wanted to for that week against Burnley.
The other thing is, right, like should we be considering 37 free hit? Is there any planning benefit to that?
Another thing, because you don't know what the now ideally looking at it, 37 may be looking like a better bench boost just because of the fixtures, the number of fixtures, and the better teams double in.
And you have so long to plan for it.
The only problem is we don't know what the state of the league will be at that specific moment and what injuries and everything will be like.
That's kind of why it's a nice free hit game week, right? You just wait for all the leagues and shit, and then
so it's a good free hit and a good bench boost week. 37. 34.
I suspect it's a slightly better free hit week than a bench boost week. But there are other good free hit weeks, and 37. There's no other really good bench boost weeks. Is 34 can be bench boosted? No, right?
Maybe you could have Garnacho on your bench, Hoyland on your bench.
Oh, that would United have to get the double.
That's
to even think about it.
Yeah, which is where I am more likely wildcard on 31, so I can think about it a bit more.
Look, I think even if the earlier wildcards look like more EV right now, you only know what you know.
That's what.
So info is always welcome.
So that's the current chip strategy. So at the moment, I think probably free hit 29 and hope that I can wildcard in 31 and navigate 34 without having to trying, because I think a lot of people will free hit in 34 most likely if they don't do it in 29, just because of what we spoke about. If United and Newcastle get that double, you don't want them in your team long term, but at the same time they will be a decent 1 week punt. So but I think we can probably navigate it in such a way where you still have them in your team, because Newcastle's fixtures are still pretty decent around that double as well.
And when would we know about 34 fixtures?
30-31 somewhere, maybe. You know, around that time as well. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so you have to make the 29 free hit decision first. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to make the free hit decision first. So you have to decide whether you take a hit to get to that point. And even if I take a -4, I'm not going to get a full 11. So I still have the advantage of having the thing is the reasoning for not playing the free hit for a lot of people would be first team dependent, and also not many options available. Now, if we go to, let's say, the picture that you sent me, right, with regards to a 29 free hit optimal that you did.
Let's look at some.
Let me bring that up. This is and let me get pick editing.
Who are these fucking players? I didn't even recognize half these players.
So
that tells you how bad the fixtures are.
The 27 wildcard with 34 free hit.
Yeah, let's look at the free hit.
So this is purely the 29 free hit, right?
Yeah, this is the optimal sim for this game week based on what we know now about fixtures and expected minutes.
Yeah, so I've got Ariola already. I have Doherty, Region, and I'll probably have Porro in mind. So not too far off. Now,
who the hell is Asim, and who does he play for?
Probably Forest.
Okay. Oh yeah, sure.
Oh no! Given that it has the same color as Bowen, I don't know. Maybe no, probably Forest. I don't even know. Anyways, doesn't matter. Forward line. I have Watkins. I will probably end up bringing Tony as well. I won't have Muniz. Now, if I played a free hit, I would have Muniz. In my midfield, don't have anyone at the moment, but I could end up with Bowen, Richarlison, Heung-min Son, and I had Ross Barkley.
Yeah.
Because I took a hit for Ross Barkley in 28.
Yeah.
So I would have
28.
Yeah, for the double.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So what I was thinking was I do the Solanke move this week, right, to my team. I'll actually show you because we'll go back to my team. I did the Solanke move this week. So Darwin to Solanke. I then, in 28, I bought in Bowen and I bought in Ross Barkley for both KDB and Garnacho. And I ended up benching Foden because I didn't want to bench Odegaard or Saka because they had Brentford. And Foden had Liverpool.
Okay, yeah.
And then in 29, I bring the two Spurs lads midfield.
So another hit.
Yeah.
So by the time you get to 29, you will be -8 by then, right? Or -12 by then.
Sorry, -8. Yeah, -8 is what I said. Oh yeah, -8. Where was I? I was missing one more move.
You said -4 before, yeah.
Yeah, I said -4.
Keeper. You're going to take -4 for Neto.
No, if I was not free hitting, I don't do that Neto thing. The other move would have been Tony. In 29, I also bring Tony, so I take a -8 in 29.
That's a lot of hits for me, man.
Yeah, that's what. So I'd rather just like play the free hit instead.
Yeah, it's not about the upside of that game week. It's about it's about stopping you, not just stopping you from taking hits on either side, but stopping you from getting fucking players that you don't want to have.
Yeah, true.
So it's like you can add +12 to the free hit, and plus the delta of
because I get a full 11 here on a free hit. Whereas
so I think when you look at that, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I'll get a full 11 on the free hit, and I'll get a better 11 on the free hit compared to what I would be able to generate by.
I feel like I'm 80% free hit at this point.
Yeah.
The only difference for me is that I'm going to wildcard, I'm pretty sure. I just want to play with it and see if it's possible to wildcard into a team that doesn't need a free hit. But I don't, not if it means I'm going to get a shit team. I'd rather attack it.
Yeah. Now, talking about wildcard, this was a game week 27 wildcard sim with a 29 free hit. Which had Kaminsky, Kelleher, Doughty, Gabriel, Saliba, Tennessee, Udogi, Son, Saka, Salah, Palmer, Richarlison, Haaland, Solanke, and Semenyo. I guess
Semenyo is a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, I guess it's because of budget. Because you have you have Salah, Saka, Son, and Haaland. That's probably why. Now, obviously, because of that midfield powerhouse and Haaland up front, you don't have Watkins. But then you don't have to worry about it because Watkins is only basically 2 games this week and next week, and then you free hit in 29, and then after that you don't need it because most people will remove him soon as well.
Wait, so this is with the free hit, right?
This is with the free hit.
Yeah.
That's why there's no Tony as well. But if we were to go for one that was 27 wildcard with 34 free hit, was it the same?
No.
No. I didn't copy it.
Want to send it again?
No, I have it. I just didn't paste it.
Oh, you copied it.
So this is 27 wildcard with 34 free hit. It had Rea, Kaminsky, Gabriel, Udogi, Doughty, Senesi, Region, Son, Saka, Richarlison, Tavernier, Palmer, Solanke, Haaland, and Watkins. This is where Watkins come.
And so this team, this is a 28 wildcard or 27 wildcard?
This is a 27 wildcard, you said.
Yeah, 27. Okay, they're both 27 wildcards. Yeah, so this team, how many players will have in 29? Have Kaminsky, Udogi, Doughty, Senesi, Region, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you'll have
Son, Richarlison, Tavernier.
No Tavernier, just Son and Richarlison. You'll have to make a move.
Oh, shit. Okay, I counted Senesi as well. Hang on, let's start again. Kaminsky, Udogi, Doughty, Region.
Yes, you'll have a back
Son, Son, Richarlison.
That's it. And then you have Watkins up front. So
Watkins.
I'm assuming Solanke.
Oh, that's 7 players.
Yeah.
So you have
Solanke
2 transfers you can make. Yeah.
That's 8. And then you do a midfield transfer somewhere, which includes Tavernier to Bowen maybe, or
yeah, Tavernier to Bowen, or Bailey or something.
Yeah, or Douglas Luiz, somewhere around that. Depends on the
so
budget.
that gives you 9.
9. And then you will have to take a hit.
Yeah, but I didn't actually see the path the sim takes after this. But it's very possible that it decides to just play 9.
Yeah, maybe.
Because otherwise you're wasting your wildcard, right?
True. Or you end up, I don't know if it sells Haaland or suggests to sell Haaland and buy him back.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Like sell for like a Muniz or someone, or
I can check. So there's a 29 free hit. Yeah. Yeah, I can check while we talk.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So it's not easy because you have 4 fixtures in 29. So trying to avoid not free hitting 29 while wildcarding is not as easy.
Yep.
That's the one thing.
Yeah, I mean, I if I'm going to do that, I'd rather just try and get 7 or 8 out for 29 and wildcard after.
Yeah.
I'd rather do what you were originally talking about.
Yeah.
This seems like the worst of both worlds. So
yeah.
Okay, I'm just looking now, right? So it wants to wildcard, then roll a transfer, then go Tavernier to Gibbs White and Solanke to Tony for 29. Okay, so how many players does that give us now?
Tavernier to Gibbs White and Solanke to Tony. That'll still give you 9, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So you'll have
8,
your back
9. Yeah, that gives 9.
Yeah.
Okay, so the sim is okay with 9 players.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't take any hits, so it doesn't think. And then in 30, it takes Doherty out for Robertson, a Liverpool defender, or you can do Tony out for Isaac. Because I think Newcastle goes on
a good run. Yeah.
Yeah. So it does something like that, and then 31. Oh, it actually goes Watkins out with a high frequency.
Yes.
Watkins out to Darwin or Isaac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And tough fixtures. Yeah.
Yeah, and then 32, Senesi out for Ruben, for Diaz. Yeah, so it slowly starts taking the Bournemouth players out. So you can see that by not free hitting in 29, you're bringing in all these players that you're then forced to slowly spend transfers on taking out. So I'm leaning towards wildcarding and free hitting as a combo so that I can spend all my transfers building for 34 and 37.
Yeah.
Because the 37 bench boost, you're going to want to have to build it.
Yes.
It's
the 34, 37, 37 bench boost. Yes.
37, yeah. 34 is going to be the week you expect a red arrow if you do this.
Yes.
You're just going to have to eat it.
That's the thing. So we'll have to see how it goes. That's why I'm more leaning towards holding the wildcard a bit more later because of that extra info. And also not wanting to carry.
I can imagine a world where 37 doesn't go as we expect, and then those who can hit us with the late wildcard, like the 35 wildcard or something, they would do really well.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that.
Yeah, I think Rushan did that last time, 35 wildcard, and into the 36 and 37 doubles or something.
Yeah.
And it paid off. So that's the thing, right? It depends all on like chip strategy and also like mini leagues. When it gets to 37, 38, we'll start to take more risk to try and like claw back mini leagues and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. So yeah.
Yeah, it's good to take. Maybe you want to target the leader in your mini league.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's good to be able to do that.
So yeah, that's basically the content we have. We've covered all of this. When you can play your chips.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we've kind of talked about this.
Yeah, we've spoken about it previously as well.
Yeah, all the 34, 37 stuff, we need more clarity.
Yeah.
But
right now, at least triple captain seems one of the best options for 28, and free hit in 29 seems like a good option.
Yeah.
And then last 6 game weeks team attack: Arsenal on top, Liverpool second, City third, Villa fourth, United fifth, but not converting stuff. At the bottom, you got Crystal Palace. I think that should improve going forward. Burnley,
2.6 XG.
Yeah, Burnley, Brentford, West Ham, and Sheffield. at the bottom. And then in terms of defense, we've got Arsenal in a different freaking galaxy compared to the rest of the league. City, Brighton, Everton. Is why I'm thinking maybe start Brentford this week. Forest and Palace. And at the bottom, we got Newcastle, who are still pretty poor. Luton, Brentford, West Ham have gone slightly up. They were tied with Newcastle before. And then Burnley and Sheffield United. That's the stats. And that's it. And in terms of questions, there were one from Quinton, or a couple from. So one from Quinton, which was, would you bring in this week on a wildcard Doherty or Moreno?
What? Alex Moreno? No, I would not bring in Moreno.
So Doherty on a wildcard instead.
I mean, are you planning? It seems like he's not planning to free hit 29.
That's a good question. Depends on Quinton.
Yeah, no, I mean, if he's considering Villa, then I guess he's not.
Not free hitting 29. Yeah.
Moreno could lose a spot to Dimia.
Yeah.
So
probably
Doherty. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I might consider like Powell or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then next one was from FPL Miss Bira, who is I think streaming right now. Keep KDB or not?
Yeah, definitely keep. We both expect him to play, right?
Yep, we do. And then and his current defenders were Porro, Gabriel, Robinson, Taylor, and Dalot. That's why I was wondering whether to bring Doherty or Moreno. And the other ones was James mentioned waiting on Sri Lanka injury, and then Tiger and Gurren and Easy Shark also joined that. That's it. So only a couple, those two questions. Nothing else. If anyone has any other questions, do let us know quickly in the chat while we discuss the panel team before we end it. Now, panel team, probably in a slightly better position than our own team, to be honest. 56 points this week, although Hee-Chan, unfortunate. So the team looks like, I guess we start Robertson over Estupinen.
Yeah, to get Estupinen out of the team.
Yeah.
The defense is in a bit of an unfortunate spot because I think Moreno is not going to play that much.
Yeah.
How many transfers?
I think we have one free transfer.
Yeah, so I mean, we need to decide chip strategy to do anything.
Yeah, Alvarez has got to go. I think his stock is fine. He keeps going down in price. We've lost 0.3 value as well. Okay, chip strategy. This team in 29 would have Ariola, Moreno probably, Doherty, Ross Barkley, and Watkins, the 5 players. If we wanted, we could try and avoid free hitting if we needed to.
Can we go Alvarez to Semenyo?
We could. But should we wait on Solanke's injury status or?
Like we probably should, but yeah. But I think, because I guess you would, otherwise you would definitely go Solanke, right?
Yeah, that's right. Because we're set
so
up.
Maybe this week we don't do Solanke. Are there any other punts on players we can take? Okay, can Huang become someone who plays in 29? How about a Leon Bailey?
We could Leon Bailey
or Douglas Lewis. Yeah,
you could. The thing is, this week Aston Villa play.
They play Luton.
They play.
Yeah, but they play Luton.
So we could go Leon Bailey if you wanted to. Huang Yi-Chan.
Or Douglas Lewis.
Yeah. Douglas Lewis, interestingly, he has a record. He does really well at home, a pretty bad away. If you look at his points.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably something tactical there that I don't understand.
Yeah. So
can you see his XG on this?
Is that
XG? Yeah.
0.55.
0.6. Okay.
Look at this XG. 0.55, 0.73, but away 0.01, 0.03.
This doesn't have shots, right?
No. But his XG's away is always lower than home.
Yeah, maybe Villa get him to play more holding.
Maybe.
Away?
Maybe. So should we go Leon?
Well, I think okay, yeah. Is there an argument for Bowen? No, I don't think so.
We could go Bowen as well because he has the Burnley fixture in 20.
Yeah, but he has a terrible fixture now.
Yeah, that's.
I just don't think this Everton's a good fixture. There's another play here. Okay. if we're free hitting 29, I think you could get second Arsenal attacker, get a Havertz or Martinelli or something.
Yes.
But yeah.
That's also a possibility.
But if you want to make this team not free hit, then yeah.
So maybe Leon Bay. Or do we go for a Spurs player?
Which Spurs player?
We don't know. That's the problem. Maybe we
Madison doesn't look.
Yeah,
we need
so
the
it's
info
either Son or Richarlison. We need that info, I guess.
I mean, I don't think we should make this transfer now.
Yeah.
But as of what we know now, I'm leaning towards Billy.
Okay. Would you take a hit? Yombe and Solanke?
No, just go back to pick team. Oh, Solanke is playing in this. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I probably would. Yeah, I would take a hit if we know Solanke fitness.
Yeah, okay.
I just feel like we're not probably going to. Oh, this team is not in good shape.
No, because of the midfield, it's kind of this thing.
This Garnacho is very concerning.
Garnacho or Barkley?
I don't mind Barkley, man. I don't mind playing Barkley instead. Yeah, I think I would play Barkley instead.
Yeah. So maybe a hit probably. Alvarez out and Heechan out.
Yeah, we just gotta wait and see now. Wait for the deadline.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
We'll lose price. We're gonna lose price on both players, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Wait for info at least. So yeah, that's basically it. I will be. So deadline stream for this week. I won't be live at the deadline, but I might be live slightly earlier than the deadline. Because I'm going out somewhere, and maybe might do a Friday night stream as well. And record a wildcard video as well for those who are looking for one before the deadline as well. So that's basically the content that we have left over for now. Anything else? Do you have anything else to mention?
No, not really. No, not really. I think we've talked about most things. Yeah.
Okay. I think our friend FPL Mira is currently streaming as well. So go over, spam the chat, say you're from the football chat box. That's her stream. We'll end it there for us. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't give me the option yet to raid. I wish they did bring that option like Twitch, but no. So go join. Yeah, just go join Mira's one and let her know that you're from there, from Football Chatbox. And yeah, that's basically it. We'll end it here. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to Karan as well. And for anyone who's new, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe as well. By trying to get to 700 subscribers, well, less than 25 away. So 700 next, and then 1,000 after that. So like, subscribe, and we'll see you all next week. Peace out, everyone.
Yeah.